Now that we have created the storyboards, we know exactly what happens in the animation. Next step is creating an animatic. Animatic is like a storyboard but in timed video format. It is a very important step because this is where we figure out the timing. With stop motion, it's hard to go back in frames and adjust the timing, so we want to have a very good sense of timing figured out on this animatic stage. For this project, I will animate 12 frames per second and dimensions will be 1080 by 1080. What does 12 frames per second mean? It means 12 frames of images make up 1 second. If you animate 6 frames per second, that means 6 frames make up 1 second. The more image you have, the smoother the animation will look. But I like 12 frames per second because I think it's very charming. Now let's open up After Effects. I like to save the file in the correct location before I do anything. Then I'm going to make a new composition. Go to Composition, New Composition. I will name it Animatic. Then make sure the composition size is 1080 by 1080. The frame rate is 12 frames per second. And I will change the duration to 3 seconds because the animation loop will be 3 seconds long. Then I will go to File, Import File, then import the Photoshop storyboard file we just made. Make sure you select the import as Composition, Retain Layer Sizes. Okay, it automatically created a new composition based on the Photoshop file. This section right here is where all of your compositions and imported files live. I will drag and drop the storyboard composition into the animatic composition. The storyboard composition is a lot bigger than the animatics composition. Now I want each of the storyboard frames to be its own layer that fills up the entire composition. So while I have the layer selected, I hit S on the keyboard. It opens up the scale controller. Using this anchor point tool, I'm going to change the anchor point of this layer to the middle of the blob on frame 1. I will increase the scale of this layer, and with the arrow tool, move the layer so it is centered in the frame. While having the layer selected, I will press Command and D at the same time and duplicate the layer and position the layer so that we see the next frame. I will keep repeating this same process until all of the frames have their own layer. Okay, we have 10 layers. And right now each layer is 3 seconds long. Let's make each layer 3 frames long. To do this, select all the layers and move the playhead 3 frames. And press Command-Shift-D to cut the layers. And then press Delete on the keyboard. Now, select all of the layers again and right-click. And then go to Keyframe Assistant, Sequence Layers. This makes the layers to line up. Now let's pray and see what it looks like if all of the frames stayed on the screen the equal amount. It's not bad, but it's very boring. Let's change the things up and make it better. Oh, since it's a loop, the first and the last frame is the same, so I can delete the last layer. Okay, to start, the beginning frame and the waving frame are the key poses, so they should stay on the screen longer. The first frame should be at least 6 frames long. You can change the length of the layer just by holding the right click and moving the mouse left and right. The waving frame should be like 9 frames long. Let's see how it looks now. It's better, but it's not there yet. I will push it a little bit more and Try to have more contrast and timing. Some actions can be quicker and some slower. Having things happen at a different speed makes the animation more exciting. Okay, let's see. I like it a lot more. I want the blob to shake in the beginning. So I will make this layer shorter and duplicate it. Make sure that the anchor point of the layer lines up with the middle of the blob. While having the layer selected, I will press S on the keyboard to bring up the scale controller. I have to unselect this constraint proportion button and put a minus in front of the x-axis value. This will flip the image horizontally. I will change the layer color by selecting a different color here and then duplicate these two layers. I will slide the duplicates over and now it looks like the blob is shaking left and right. Now let's see how it looks like. I like it. You can see the difference between what I started with and what I have now. Timing makes a big difference. Now let's render the animatic. Go to Composition, add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. Select where you want to save it. And by pressing here, you can select all of your render settings. I like to render H.264. And now hit OK and then press the green arrow. Now a little extra step. This is optional, but I like to make an X sheet, also known as an exposure sheet. According to the animatic, it will write down what action happens on which frame. This will help me stay on track while shooting stop motion.